This specific week, we're going to talk about self-love.
Inspired by a cat, I look after myself inside and out.
Whenever you come over, because you're like, 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐻, I need to do my oil pulling. Right?
To move on, you have to grieve.
Because people think self-love is just telling yourself, I love myself, I'm done.
Rebuild, yani sure, just because the person left you, you stop loving yourself?
Grieve, but don't take too long to grieve, and I don't agree with that.
Everything that happens is for a reason, and the reason is good.
You are a ping pong ball. Ping pong, 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 pong.
Focus on the present, but khalas, breathe now, meditate now, do yoga now.
Something is meant for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's on the other side of the world, it will find its way to you.
Learn to live. People don't live, they just survive. Oh my God. People gulp their food down like dogs.
Being 13 and insecure, that was like, oh my God, like I'm beautiful. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Press Pause with 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞.
Hi.
This specific week, we're going to talk about self-love. And I wanted to specifically include this topic because you are the embodiment, in my opinion, the embodiment of self-love. You always, since I was a child, I remember you always took care of yourself to then better show up for us as a mother, to better show up for yourself in your career, which, you know, mashallah, you did so well for 33 years of it. So from a very young age, I always had a great example of what self-love is, you know. So this episode is dedicated to you, mommy.
Oh, okay. I'm honored.
Of course. So what is your take on self-love? Just coming from you.
Self-love, let me put it in a very picturesque manner. All I'm asking you to do is to imagine a cat grooming itself.
Meow.
And they do that daily, huh? Cats do that daily. And that's how you should be. They look after themselves. They make sure their coat is nice, everything is fine. You know, they clean themselves everywhere, all the time, you know. So, well, inspired by a cat, I look after myself inside and out. I meditate. I do yoga. That's my inside. And of course, the food.
Yes.
I'm very disciplined in my intake. And of course, the external appearance. External appearance, again, we talk about discipline and consistency. If you want your skin to look good all over, you've got to nurture it. You've got to put in your lotions. You've got to be having that same consistent behavior. Morning, evening, there are rituals, literally, schedules. You know, you schedule yourself, keep the time out for yourself because otherwise you won't. Dedicate that. Even after a shower, just after every shower, you've got to anoint yourself with the oils.
Yeah, skin is the biggest organ of the body.
Exactly. So kindly appreciate it and nurture it. You could even just be applying like how it was, you know, when I was in Africa and even in Kerala. They just apply coconut oil.
I feel coconut oil is so underrated.
Allah. Yeah, exactly. You know, even to remove eye makeup and stuff like that, coconut oil.
I have to make sure I have a full jar of coconut oil in the guest bathroom whenever you come over. Because you're like, 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐻, I need to do my oil pulling. And then I see you in the morning and you're just smothered in oil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, clearly you finished your yoga because you would slip otherwise.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that focus on yourself inside and out.
Yeah.
That's all that I have to say. And the benefits, you will definitely reap them. It could be immediate. It could take time, but stay consistent.
Yeah.
And be disciplined in all your ways. You know, do your proper workout so that you sweat, your glands are nice and clean. You know, you've gotten rid of them toxins. You've got your digestive system in order because you're eating good. And all the rest of it, including your hair. You have to look after yourself. If you don't look after yourself, who will? I mean, please. Who will? You know, life is too short.
Life is too short. Okay, are you ready for the questions people have sent in regarding self-love?
Yeah, yes. Yes,
You're like,
yes.
What was I waiting for?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so, dear 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐻, how can we differentiate between self-love and selfishness, especially in cultures where putting yourself first can be seen as selfish?
I would say, to answer that question in just one single line, is that balance in life is required in every aspect of your life. Balance. If you are devoting 23 hours to your family, 23 hours, devote that 1 hour to yourself. But that 1 hour has to be there. The ratio between yourself and the family, or whatever your duties are, has to be decided by you. If you devote like maybe 15 hours to yourself and just 2 hours to your kids and your family, that's being selfish, in my opinion. In my opinion, life is a balance of everything. Anything that you do in life, it has to have a perfect balance, you know? So everything depends on you again. So try not to be selfish, which is a nasty character, and try to be selfless, not to that extent that you are trodden all over.
Yeah.
You've got to be selfless in the sense that you are accommodating yourself while looking after the others.
Exactly. And I feel like culture, what is culture, right? Culture is copying.
Yeah. Yes.
Traditions is copying what was passed down to you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the culture and the way it's been conditioned is, if you take care of yourself, you're being selfish. And specifically from the perspective of a woman, I feel like we've been conditioned to give and take care of everybody else, and then for yourself you have to be a martyr.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be like that.
No, I agree. And you know, even though I grew up with the example of you, where you took such good care of yourself, and to this day, mashallah, you do, and you can see it from inside and out.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Okay. But even with that example, with my first child syndrome, I always felt I have to give and take care of everybody and all of that, you know, to this day as well. You even tell me, like, just leave us. But then also, can you do this? You know? So I just feel like that's the case. And it is really difficult to have something that is so deeply ingrained in us, specifically in the culture and gender. It's okay to do what you need to do for yourself. You know, like I just turned 30, and even till now, it's a conscious decision that no, I need to take care of myself. So what I have personally done is, you know me, I love my calendar and my color-coded calendar. So I have scheduled in, because I'm working with my health coach at the moment. So one day is gym, one day is sauna, one day is gym, one day is walk, one day is gym, one day is walk.
Okay.
Yeah,
activity.
There's one more day. I don't know what I'm supposed to, I can't remember what I have to do that day, but there's a pattern of, you know, working on my inflammation and healing my gut and all of these things. And everything is done for me based on the blood work that she has received all the results on. And she gives me that. So I've had to literally schedule in, at this date, at this time, I will make sure I book and go for the infrared sauna. Before I go in for my night shift, for example, the other day, remember I called you and you're like, why are you awake? I'm like, I'm going to the gym before work, you know? So I scheduled that in. So I feel like, just remind yourself, culture is copying, and decide what you want to copy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Sieve everything in life.
And decide what your definition of self-love is. Right?
Yes.
Because people think self-love is just telling yourself, I love myself, I'm done. No, it's the action you take to love yourself.
Yes.
That is to take care of your health. That is to take care of what you feel makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes even just pressing pause and taking a moment for yourself is self-care and self-love.
Oh, yes, of course.
So
of course.
I also feel like you shouldn't care about what other people think of you taking a moment for yourself.
Oh yeah, I always say prioritize yourself. Be selfish there. It's super healthy to be selfish there.
Exactly. So
but don't go over the top. Don't go overboard.
You're telling people not to go over the top?
Yes.
You're like the most over the top person I know.
In every aspect.
You are really. Okay, ready for question 2? Or is there anything else you want to add?
No. Let's go ahead.
Okay. How do you pick yourself back up and rebuild self-love after a tough breakup or life setback, especially when you're feeling down?
I would say, and I would suggest and highly recommend, grieve your loss. If you don't allow yourself to grieve enough, you will want to go back.
Yes.
And that's one thing you should tell yourself you're not doing. So grieve that loss. It's one of those things. Gaining something, losing something, it's a part of life. How you handle it by prioritizing yourself is the question here. You are going to allow yourself a period of grief, but don't let it stretch too long. And don't, first of all, the most important thing and the basic thing is that, do you really want to be away from that relationship, or you want to crawl back to it? So decide on that first. Get a stand on where you want to be. You want to sit down and go back to that person, or do you want to stay here and you want to move on? To move on, you have to grieve.
Yeah.
You see? So that you kind of, you close that chapter, you start another chapter. Yeah? And unless you close this one, the other one won't start. So remember that. And what was the second part of the question?
How do you pick yourself back up and rebuild self-love after a tough breakup or life setback, especially when you're feeling down?
Now, the question here is, rebuild self-love. Rebuild, yani sure, just because the person left you, you stop loving yourself? You will not anoint yourself with your oils and look after yourself inside out? Why not? Why not? You have to prioritize yourself. I always say this. You have to prioritize yourself so that you can look after your loved ones, including yourself, but prioritize yourself. You don't put your guard down. Yeah, I think that's how they say it in English. You don't put your guard down just because the person has left, or you are going through this so-called breakup. You're grieving, but that doesn't mean you're grieving by ignoring yourself and how do you say it? Prioritizing others, or sitting down and moping over that human being. You do that in doses which you can accommodate healthily into your lifestyle. But don't just brood so much. Yani. Balance again.
You mentioned that grieve, but don't take too long to grieve, and I don't agree with that. I think that everybody should take their time, that when you're done grieving, whether it takes a day, a month, a year, 10 years, hopefully not 10 years.
Inshallah, not 10 years.
But my point is, and
people are different.
This is not just, exactly. Yeah. People are different. So I agree with you in terms of grieving.
Yeah.
But
the length, the duration.
Right? You, mashallah, you're the kind of woman who bounces back. You are a ping pong ball. Ping, pong, 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 pong. Right? Yeah. You, mashallah. But I do feel like there's also that importance of allowing yourself to grieve for as long as you need to.
Yeah, and people are different.
Yes.
People are different, but try to remember that don't mop over this particular human for too long. Now, your too long and my too long might not be the same. But be realistic about things. Life is
that is being short. Realistic about things.
But life is too short. Why mop over things that are already done?
Yeah. And also a part of the question is not just a breakup, but also a life setback. Let's say something hasn't worked out in your life that you were really working towards. How do you also come back from that as well? This is not just love. It is about, disappointment or a letdown in a sense.
That would take a longer time for me than love would. But that's me.
Yeah.
You see?
What would be your tips on bouncing back from something that didn't work out? Whether it's, for example, like I've kept the questions brief from what people send so we don't give away their identities.
Yes.
But also, like, let's say your job did, like you were waiting for a promotion, it didn't work out. And let's say that, you, for example, you found the house of your dreams, but then you couldn't get the mortgage approved. Just something that truly is a life setback, and not everything has to change because of that.
Yes.
What would be your advice on loving yourself and bouncing back from that?
You bounce back by being more resilient, in the sense you sit down to accept things the way they are and try to move on, because it's everything that happens is for a reason, and the reason is good, especially where Allah is concerned. There's a bigger door waiting for you, maybe even a huge gate, but you're sticking onto this tiny little window to open. Better things are coming. I always tell myself that. For you to mop over a tiny little window that has closed, focus, like how I would, on a gate that is waiting to be opened by you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely there.
Yeah, and rejection is redirection.
Oh yeah, khalas, yeah, there's better things coming. Always tell yourself that. If you don't, you have to be optimistic in life, that there are better things coming, and you have to strive to move on. Exactly. And life is a constant struggle. I wouldn't even say struggle, striving for better things,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I feel like the most important part in terms of getting your self-love back, whether it's through a breakup or some life setback that you have, is to understand that most of the time it's not even your fault. You know,
it's true. It's not the even situation and the circumstance. Cut yourself
some slack, because it's so easy to say, what did I do wrong?
Yes. Right? Always. Yeah.
But it's not necessarily the case. There are so many other factors that could be at play, and that's why it didn't work out for you. But if you think about, from a standpoint of there being a greater power, right?
Yes.
And this truly just wasn't meant for you, and until you are actually ready for the next thing that is going to be better, then only will it come to you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite books is Secrets of Divine Love, and she said, if something is meant for you, even if it's on the other side of the world, it will find its way to you.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And
another good way that she explained it was, even if something is underneath a mountain, it will reach you if it's meant for you.
It's true.
And even if something is as close to you as your jugular vein and it is not meant for you, it will not reach you.
No.
Right? No. So in terms of a life setback, believe something better is out there.
Inshallah, yes.
In terms of a breakup, if you see that really there's no reconciliation, there's no way that you can get back in there and make that work, grieve it. Really grieve it.
Yeah.
People feel like it's really important to move on and show the world everything is fine.
Not that quickly.
But I feel like
because you built it over a period of time.
Exactly. And also remember the chemicals in your brain.
Yes.
You are so wired to being so used to them.
It's true.
Thinking about them. What do they like? What do they need? Like, at least for me, from my perspective of being a nurturer and of somebody who loves really hard, I'm constantly thinking about, okay, what should I cook for dinner because they're going to be home soon? All these like little things. Oh, they had a tough day today. Maybe I'll get them like a tiny little gift, like all of these little things. And for you to suddenly have to rewire your brain, the chemicals in your brains are so used to them. Acknowledge the fact.
Becomes a habit.
Exactly. Yeah. Acknowledge the fact that your brain has to rewire and get used to the idea of them not being around. But be patient in your rewiring.
Yes.
So yes. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Okay. I like this question. If you could speak to your younger self, what lessons on self-love would you share?
Self-love.
What did you say to baby Haradika?
What I would say to baby Hadika is that wait for the good times, baby. I won't change it for anything.
Yeah.
Because every stage in my life has taught me something or the other, which molded and sculpted me to what you see now. So, everything, yani, alhamdulillah. This younger self sitting down to this thing, it's the past. Remember, never, ever live in the past.
Yeah.
Focus on the present. Don't even think about the future. Focus on the present. But khalas, breathe now, meditate now, do yoga now, be in the present.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you have. It could just even be a plant, outside your house, in your garden. It could be a butterfly flying around, Appreciate. And this brings about, a release of hormones, the feel-good hormones, our oxytocin, our dopamine, our serotonin, exercise and get them all out, Yeah. So just live.
Yeah.
Learn to live. People don't live. They just survive.
That's
Learn
true.
to live, and I believe in living.
Mm-hmm.
Also, having said that, learn to eat right, starting from the mouth. People gulp their food down like dogs.
Okay.
Chew like a cat. Chew at least for 16 times because your digestion starts here. And if your digestion starts here and you've started it right, baby, you're going to be good on the inside, So focus on such tiny things and that'll keep you occupied to the better you.
For me, I would say the self-love that I would want to show little 𝐬𝐿𝐻 is, I don't know if you knew this, but I didn't ever feel beautiful as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I know, because of many things.
Yeah.
Because of what you went through. Yes.
Yeah. And I just felt like me as I am was never good enough because of the comments made to me.
Yeah.
The whispers I could hear about, oh, her teeth are crooked. The hair is so curly. Oh, she's so dark, right? These were all things that I really internalized as a child.
Yeah.
So I felt like I should change my appearance in order for me to get compliments and look better. So I remember one of the first times I at least remember receiving a compliment was when I started wearing colored lenses. And people are like, oh my God. Wow. Right? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay. So if I change what I look like, that makes me prettier. Right? And I was, that's what I felt. That was my understanding. I think I was, 11, 12, 13, somewhere there. When I remember you took me, it was those fresh look contact lenses.
Yes.
The green, like we tried the different ones, which now when I look back, it's so unsanitary, but we tried all the testers.
I know.
And then when I tried the hazel ones on, we were like, okay, yeah, that's cute. The gray and the green were like my two colored lenses that I liked. And I was already wearing glasses, and the kids would make so much fun of me at school for how I looked in glasses. So when I put the contacts in, you're like, this is it. You look so cute. I was like, yes, I do. Then when I was out in the world, I could see the compliments that I was receiving. And I was like, oh, and you're like, yeah, because of now my dark complexion was seen as a good thing because my eyes are so striking, but they're not my eyes,
Yeah.
Then I started to really, like, YouTube came out and I was watching makeup tutorials. And when I would add makeup, the first thing people would say is, oh, your eyes are stunning. Your makeup is great. So everything that I was adding on to myself is where I was receiving the compliments, not you're so nice. Such like, like the compliments of who I was
quality,
didn't hit me as much as the vain ones of you're so pretty, And being 13 and insecure, that was like, oh my God, like I'm beautiful, And then also I had issues with how I saw my body because, being mashallah, half Arab and African,
we are gifted.
We are gifted. But in ballet class, I was constantly told to tuck my bum in, but I cannot, my hips are facing the ceiling. How much more should I tuck my bum in, So I just felt like my physique also wasn't the way that it should be because I saw the girls around me who were much slimmer. So I was forcing myself to diet. And then when I started to lose the weight, more compliments came in. So every time I changed something about myself versus me being me is when I received a compliment. So it was like almost like a dog receiving treats. It's like, okay, that worked great. I'll continue doing that. So it's only now when I was 29 that I was like, I'm done wearing colored lenses. I want to embrace myself for what I look like. I used to bleach my hair platinum blonde at one point, remember?
Yes.
I had pink hair, purple hair, blue hair.
Everything.
I've had every color under the sun colored into my hair. Yes. I damaged my hair so much. And now all my hair is my natural hair. I'm already going gray because I have the most stressful job in the world, air traffic control. And even in me choosing to embrace that, I'm saving more money by not bleaching my hair and damaging it. The colored lenses, it was damaging my eyes. My eyes are so dry all the time because of me having them on, sleeping in them, the red eyes I would wake up with. So what I would go and tell young 𝐬𝐿𝐻 is, you are beautiful the way that you are. And you don't need external validation to feel better about yourself, because that's what I felt I needed.
Yes, you felt, but you're not the only one, especially in this world of today with social media and everything. The expectation is so high.
Exactly.
Each and every, not only little girl, even the older girls.
Yes.
Exactly. They're striving to looking better all the time. But if you're doing with your health as the marker, that I want to be healthier, I want to have healthier skin, I want to have better looking eyes, do my eye exercises, do this, that, whatever. That is a better this thing rather than
change to your body.
Change to your body where health is concerned. Whereas not only external appearance, which is the norm right now, whether we like it or not, everybody does. Social media makes us all go crazy. Like, oh, those legs, those eyes, those eyebrows, those eyelashes, So that's how it goes, and it's the order of the day. So it's not only young Joanna who's going through this.
Yeah.
Even the older aunties
Yes.
are wanting to be like young Joanna, like sort of to be younger and striving to whatever. But I would say if the marker and the what do you call it? Your aim would be to be more healthy, all the rest follows.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the rest follows.
When I chose to really focus on my health, even though I wasn't glamming up as much and I'm not wearing makeup on a day-to-day basis, literally just for the show or a public speaking event, and people are like, you're glowing. Like there's something different about you. And it's because I'm eating better.
It's from the inside.
I'm taking care of myself. I'm working with a health coach that really has taught me about my body and what I can and can't eat, based on my intolerances, based on healing my gut. Like your gut is really everything. So yeah, thank you for your insights, Ma. This episode truly was dedicated to you because, in my opinion, you're the epitome of self-love and inspiration. So thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Next week, we'll be talking about romantic love, and we decided to have a mainstream topic like that for you guys because it's Valentine's month and February. So stay tuned for that, and here's a sneak peek for next week. What are the top 3 red flags when dating somebody new?
You don't need 3 red flags, mind you. You need 1 maroon one.
So there are a lot of people who are in COVID relationships, COVID marriages now.
That with women, their noses are the ones which reveal all.
Don't choose to not walk away because you've already given your time and you don't want to waste that time.
Yeah. You don't have to see that lipstick stain. Your nose tells you.
My boyfriend always threatens to break up with me.
And if he has already started threatening, what are you waiting for? Leave him!
You're wasting your time if you choose to stay after seeing what you don't like.
And if you can't, just give me a call. I'll come shout at him and leave you.
You can't place what it is, but something is making you a little bit crazy.
And no suitcase. Yeah, leave your stuff. It's going for charity.
Something is telling you something is off.
Otherwise, ma salama.
And she said, you know what? I dump you back.
Welcome.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. You will never know till you get your own.
People think butterflies is a good thing in your tummy and they're giving me butterflies. Butterflies is toxic, okay?